Hey guys, StarCraft here, and well, got another class one that I wanted to go about. This one it mixes with the meta, but also talks a little bit about actual comic history. Mainly, Superman has not been the first hero of the DC universe in a long time. Well, technically that. I'll get to that in a minute. Ever since the stuff with Doomsday Clock and everything came out, and especially when they talk about 5G and the final story of Wonder Woman number 750, where Diana is now revealed to be the first hero and influencing people like Alan Scott and all that. Yeah, and people are saying like, "Ooh, it contradicts Doomsday Clock and everything. It completely contradicts it all. It makes it seem like it was and that they have it out for Jeff Johns. Superman is supposed to be the main focus, but now they're making Wonder Woman." Ah! It's like, guys, you missed the point. One of the big things about the last issue of Doomsday Clock was, and I quote, let me just find it. It is in April 18th, 1938. Meadow whines as Superman lifts a 1937 Ford over his head, revealing himself to Metropolis. Um, hold on. Yeah, basically pointing out that's when Superman originally came about, obviously. And then it starts to mention other changes. For example, um, it is in April 18th, 2038. Superman appeared in public for the first time. 22 years earlier, the Kent's prayers for a child are answered when a rocket lands on their farm. Superman's timeline shifts forward again. April 18th, 2038. Basically, in other words, now marks a different date. Jonathan and Martha and their baby Colin find a boy who will one day be Superman. In other words, by the time of the point where Superman should have been found, and where it should have appeared, is now when he arrives instead. Superman's history is always shifting. And I think what people neglected about this, it means when that shifts, anything that happened beforehand, meaning Superman is not the first hero to show up, but instead you have to have it be that all the stuff beforehand, someone else filled the role, which is why post-crisis it wasn't Superman that was the first. It was Alan Scott. Alan Scott was considered the Superman of his days. He was considered the Superman equivalent of, well, of all the other people out there. He was the equivalent of, among the JSA and all the All-Star Squadron, he was their Superman because he was the most powerful at that time. In fact, and they would say that way for the longest time. The only other time we've had to be where Superman was the first public hero was, well, New 52. Granted, Batman was underground, they stated in their continuity by that point, but that's when you have to be where Superman is the first hero in present day, no other heroes before him. And look at how that turned out, guys. Because let's face it, they felt like, oh, we have to have it be. That means no JSA, we have to have Earth 2, we have to make everyone younger, yada yada. Here's the thing. If you take out Superman, what, you're going to take out the JSA? They can't exist because no heroes existed before Superman? You can't do that, guys. So what was instead stated, and this is what it always said post-crisis, was that Superman was the first of a new age of heroes. That's what they are saying. And now, with this new initiative they're doing was Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman is now replacing Alan Scott as the first hero of the old days. It doesn't mean the focus is off of her, and is now on her and off of Superman. It doesn't mean any of that. What it means is that Diana is the first. She's the one who gets the ball rolling, but the new age and everything about the world doesn't happen until Superman shows up many years later. And given how she's immortal, she can last that long. But that's the thing though. Superman is the focus, in that history is changing when his stuff details changes. So in other words, instead of Superman being that first hero in the Golden Age, it's now either Alan Scott or Wonder Woman who's that hero. And whatever the first hero was during the 80s and all that stuff, unless you're going to have it be, oh, most of those heroes don't come about until Superman arrives in whatever new shifted timeline and everything. Unless you do that, you could maybe have Captain Atom was around as the hero for another age. Especially as there's bigger and bigger gaps between the Golden Age and now. You could have it be there were other heroes who were in charge of another smaller group. But then the real great age doesn't happen until Superman happens in modern day. That's what's going on, guys. They're not just wiping their ass with Doomsday Clock number 12. No, it is exactly playing off with what Doomsday Clock set up. That history is always shifting around Superman. But again, you can't have it be Superman is the first hero there ever was unless you want New 52 and ignore all of the past stuff. Ignore the JSA and everything. If you want to do that, then fine, go read New 52. But if you want to have it be where you still have the JSA, all that lore and everything still intact, you need to have someone else in the place of being the first hero, and then have it be Superman, like I said, is the first hero of the next age. But I think no one's had a problem with this before. And I think it's just because, they're putting Wonder Woman, who is perfectly suitable for it, I might add. Like, they're putting Wonder Woman in her place. So it's because no. Guys, she's the first hero, yes. But again, it's only because Superman's not in that spot. She's, because he can't. He needs to be in the present day to come about. Otherwise, you'll have old woman Lois and Jimmy and all that stuff by the time of present day. And again, Wonder Woman's the one who could fit, probably even better than Alan Scott could fit in that role. Because when Alan Scott and the JSA, they have to come up with some reasons to why they're still around in present day. But with Wonder Woman, you don't have to worry about that. And that, I know I'm going over and over in circles, but that's what's going on. All right? That's what it is. So just think about that. Because like I said, no one had that problem before about being Alan Scott. But again, because people either then knew and kept up, or they didn't care. Because they did know at the very least the JSA existed. They were an inspiration for Superman. Or Iron Monroe, actually. Actually, that's a fair thing. Iron Monroe, it was kept in, even right before the New 52, it was reminded by Chris Robertson that Iron Monroe was an influence for Superman. He read his pulp and adventure novels. He just loved the guy, and that's what inspired him to do a lot of what he did. That's been around since post-crisis. But again, that meant you had other heroes inspiring Superman. That was another key point in during all this. Once Manhattan put Alan Scott and thus the JSA back into the history, it basically made things very clear. Without him, Superman feels he has to be an outcast. Like, there's no one been like you. But I'm back. There's been plenty of people like you, Clark, and people are going to love you. You're going to do great things for this year and for these new generation of heroes. Did you guys even read this before you complained? Seriously, guys, did you read it? I'm sorry if I'm getting annoyed, but as I'm talking about it, I'm just realizing there was a lot more than I initially thought. There's so much in here that you guys are getting annoyed that Wonder Woman is now the first, even though Superman's supposed to be first in Doomsday Clock. Doomsday Clock did not contradict anything. This is playing off of what Doomsday Clock set up, guys. So please, stop thinking they are ruining everything and trying to screw over what Jeff Johns set up when they're not. And they never have. So seriously, guys, I gotta say this. If you guys are really the fans you say you are, if you guys really read this issue alone, truly read it, didn't just flip through it and then forget about it, then you guys should know that what you're saying makes absolutely no sense. And if you are going to keep on saying it, if regardless of what I'm saying here, you're going to keep on saying, they're trying to ruin everything, then I'm sorry. Either you guys are that too far gone, Or you guys really don't care and just want to be mad and just keep on spreading BS. So what is it going to be, guys? You guys going to acknowledge you might have been wrong? Or are you going to keep on pushing shit just to keep on having it be DC dying, DC bad, pushing an agenda? Because if you guys are going to keep doing that, I don't know what to say. Except that sounds very sad. If you guys are just going to keep on going through mental gymnastics to convince yourself how horrible it is, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you from thinking what you want to think, but I don't want to be in your shoes, is all I'm saying. I didn't mean this to end so bitterly, but it just dawned on me just how much of, in Doomsday Clock number 12 alone, makes no sense for people to jump to the conclusion that, wonder they're trying to, they're ignoring what Jeff Johns did. Oh, it's for all this. Think about things for a moment, guys, before you actually start to go in the whole, it's the end of everything. Huh? This is StarCraft, signing out.